Excellence. I said that wrong, didn't I?
You got them all in there.
I got them all in there. I'd like to call to order our Tuesday, September 25th, 2018 regular school board meeting. We'll begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we do have our public comment forms here. If anyone would like to address the board at the appropriate time, fill out one of those forms and return it to the board table. And if we get some of those, as we get closer to that, we'll go through some of the guidelines and policy for public comments. Are there any adjustments to the agenda by the board?
I do have an adjustment regarding the facility use for Kona Ice and Snowy, with those documents regarding the health department documentation and Safe Serve, just that we can make sure that those are taken care of for homecoming.
Okay, so we'll add that into the new business. Is that what that's?
I believe we probably added for facility use.
Into our,
Either way.
Yeah, the overnight field trip as
they're
well.
both facility use. Okay.
This is on the overnight field trip for PHS.
And also the overnight field trip is also an adjustment to the agenda for Olivia, who is our alternate municipal advisor. First time in 18 years.
Cincinnati, I think.
Yep. Got it, yeah.
It's awesome.
That's
Okay.
another good career grad, and we
Yeah. Any other adjustments from the board? Okay, we'll move on to our superintendent consent agenda. We have item 3.01, our personnel report for September 25th, 2018. 3.02, donations for September 2018. 3.03, claims report for September 25th, 2018. And 3.04, facility use request report, including the two adjustments that were added. Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
The motion a second, any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Vasquez?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey, yes. Ms. Driscoll?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley?
Yes. Next, we move on to item number 4, our board consent agenda. We have item 4.01, executive session memorandum of August 23rd, 2018. 4.02, minutes of the special board, special bid opening meeting of August 27th, 2018. 4.03, minutes of the regular board meeting of August 27th, 2018. 4.04, minutes of the public work session of August 27th, 2018. 4.05, minutes of the finance committee meeting of September 14th, 2018. And 4.06, minutes of the discussion meeting from December 17th, 2018. We have a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the board consent agenda.
The motion and a second, any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Vasquez?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey, yes. Ms. Driscoll?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley?
Yes. Okay, we'll move on to our board development, 5.01, legislative committee. Are there any updates, Trustee Frisco? Legislative?
I'm trying to still log in.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's working for me, but, yes, we do have, do we have any, what the federal one?
Federal flash?
Federal flash, yes. I don't know why. Okay. Now I was looking to see if I could get it.
Welcome back to Federal Flash. I'm Philip Lovell and I'm joined by Robin Harper. On Thursday, key members of the House and Senate Appropriations Committee reached a deal on the fiscal year 2019 funding with the U.S. Department of Education and several other agencies. Overall, the agreement provides increases in funding for several important programs with the Department of Education, but it does not include language prohibiting the use of federal education funds to purchase firearms. A sticking point in finalizing the language for this bill.
That's right, Philip. The spending bill provides $15.9 billion in Title I state grants to support students. An increase of $100 $100 increase in the maximum Pell Grant for fiscal year 2019. The Student Support and Academic Enrichment Grants Program, created under the Every Student Succeeds Act, and at the center of the debate regarding whether school districts can use federal funds to purchase guns and train educators in the use of firearms, received a $70 million increase to $1.17 billion.
The Student Support and Academic Enrichment Grants Program was created to provide districts with flexible funds that they can use to meet local needs regarding safe and healthy school environments, a well-rounded education, and increased access to personalized learning supported by technology. Funding for the program was increased after the tragic school shooting in Parkland, Florida, to help schools keep students safe. Concerns with how funding for the grant program would be used arose after U.S. Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos indicated the Department of Education could permit school districts to use funding to buy guns and arm educators. Congressional Democrats were alarmed and advocated for including language to bar the use of grant funds for guns. The Alliance for Excellent Education and many other organizations supported this effort. Unfortunately, the final agreement does not include this prohibition on using grant funds to purchase guns.
On the other hand, the funding deal drops language prohibiting the use of federal funds for transportation costs for school desegregation. The language has been part of the Education Appropriations Bill since the 1970s and emerged after backlash to a Supreme Court ruling that deemed busing an appropriate means to aid in school desegregation. The prohibition was included to appease white constituents who opposed busing their children into African American neighborhoods. Civil rights groups and Representative Bobby Scott, the ranking Democrat on the House Education Committee, have advocated for removing the language.
So what's next? In addition to funding for the Department of Education for fiscal year 2019, this appropriation bill also includes funding for the Departments of Defense, Labor, and Health and Human Services. In addition, it includes a short-term extension of current funding through December 7th for all government agencies that will not have funding in place by September 30th, when existing funding will expire. In other words, it will keep the federal government open during the midterm election. This bill must pass both chambers before it can be sent to the President to be signed into law. We'll keep you posted as things progress.
One last item for today. The Department of Education is announcing another competition for states to participate in a pilot program for innovative assessments, formerly called the Innovative Assessment Demonstration Authority. Up to 7 states may participate. In 2018, only 2 states applied. 1 state was approved, the other state is still pending. Applications will be due by the end of the year. Additional information is available at the link below.
That's all for today. For an email alert when the next episode of Federal Flash is available, email us at alliance@allfored.org. Thanks.
Thank you. So I think it's important that we watch these because typically at the federal level, there was just a budget and it was just, for education and very, very minute or small changes. And as you can see now, there's definitely some changes that have, been past practice, or it's been going on for many, many years. And I think the one with being able to use funds, purchase guns, is extremely important to be watching. And then also being able to take dollars from the education fund to utilize it in other areas. So once it's passed, then that, if it were to be passed, it wouldn't even be guaranteed that those funds would be available. So, something to think about. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody have any comments or questions in regards to that? Okay, we'll move on to old business. We have item 6.01, the ratification of the advanced imaging contract.
At this point in time, I'd like to table this as Mr. Lesich, Mr. Gunn, and I are continuing to work together, and also with Attorney Elwood on some further particulars before moving forward with that. I just wanted to make sure we, of course, kept it under old business.
Okay, and then we have item 6.02, our custodial vision
Do you have a
plan
motion
renewal.
to table and a vote?
Yeah, it should be.
Yes.
Do we need, okay, we have a motion to table.
I'll make a motion to table the
Good catch.
Advanced imaging contract.
contract.
Do a motion and a second? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Vasquez?
Yes.
Ms. Ms. Briscoe? Yes. Ms. Moore?
Yes. Item 6.02, custodial vision plan renewal.
At this point in time, Mr. Elwood, did you want to kind of update where we were
Yeah,
last
so
with this?
the history is, it used to be the custodial medical and vision plan. And when the state plan came out, all eligible employees had to go on the state health insurance plan. So it just became the custodial vision plan. It's because of the union that it's, for some reason, only offered to the custodians. There's no reason that it shouldn't be offered to other employees. My understanding is that it is a 90-10 split. Again, I'm reading an email from Lou. And apparently, I'm sorry. So when the Affordable Care Act got adopted, there was a decision by the HR director at the time for Portage Township Schools that they continued to be offered the vision plan, which was improper because actually it should have just been the health plan.
What's teachers split plan for their vision?
I don't know.
Interesting to know.
Yeah, the
If
other
they're getting
groups would
something
be
different, the
curious.
other groups. And then also,
So-
Mr. Elwood, with the Affordable Health Care Act, that was medical only. That had nothing to do with dental or vision.
And that's the point. The HR director at the time said we have to offer the vision too, and that's what happened, and that's not correct, I agree.
No, it's not correct.
Yeah, it's just health only, I agree. So my thought was.
But
when
we don't have an HR director.
We had one.
Oh.
That's when it happened.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's one of those carryovers.
okay.
So we're looking into it still further. I don't want to do anything with the contract tonight. We are starting bargaining with the 4 USW groups soon as they decide their strike or finish the contract. And so I've got it down as a subject to broach with them.
Okay, so we have a motion to table the custodial vision plan renewal.
Make a motion to table the custodial vision plan.
Second.
Second,
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Vasquez?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey, yes. Ms. Prisco?
yes.
Yes. Okay, we'll move on to new business, our 7.01, review and approval of the administrative contracts.
I'll make a motion to review the administrative contracts.
Thank you. We have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Vasquez?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey, yes. Ms. Prisco?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes. 7.02, request permission to advertise public hearing in CPF and bus replacement plans.
So this is, again, in compliance with Indiana Code. Mr. Braun, Director of Finance, has provided us a memo stating that prior to the adoption of the 2019 budget, the bus replacement and capital project plan for the school corporation needs to be providing the taxpayers with proper notice of the plan, and attached are all of those documents.
Do you have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve permission to advertise the public hearing in CPF.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Vasquez?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey, yes. Mr. Prisco?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes. 7.03, ratification of the FBNWI backpack program for 2018-2019.
And this is our normal agreement with the Food Bank of Northwest Indiana to provide the meals to students on the weekends.
Make a motion to ratify the FBNWI backpack program for 2018-19.
Do we have a second?
Second,
We have a motion and 2 seconds. Call the roll, please.
Ms. Vasquez?
Yes.
Mrs. Bailey, yes. Mrs. Prisco?
yes.
Ms. Clark?
Yes. 7.04, approval to apply for the common school loan.
I'll make a motion to approve, to apply for the common school loan.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Vasquez?
Yes.
Mrs. Bailey, yes. Mrs. Prisco?
Yes.
Ms. Clark?
Yes. And item 7.05 is overnight field trip by Portage High School to Carmel, Indiana by Olivia Wood. Did we just already approve this?
I believe we added it to agenda adjustments, but I don't believe we approved it.
So I'll make a
Okay.
motion to approve the overnight field trip by the girls golf team. Second.
we have a motion and a second, any discussion? We call roll, please.
Ms. Vasquez?
Yes.
Ms. Felias, Mrs. Prisco?
Yes.
Mr. Moda?
Yes, and good luck, Olivia. Okay, we'll move on to our superintendent reports and updates.
Exciting always to share with you the updates that are being tabulated throughout the district by our interns and throughout all of our buildings. Moving forward, Mrs. DeGrzlowski and I spoke about having different interns come report these various things, so we're gonna be working through that. This week, what they provided for me are as follows. The innovative learning labs that our elementary students are having the pleasure of being a part of. They have done egg drops, used Little Bit kits to learn about circuits and built bridges, just to name a few activities, and I know you've seen some of those pictures, the kids are really enjoying it. The Upstart pilot program, something we're very proud of and something I wanna thank Mrs. Williams for, as I had shared with the board. The idea of 4-year-olds having a free program in their home where a Chromebook book is provided, and as long as students complete this program, they will have the opportunity to keep that Chromebook, and then they will be provided as needed the Wi-Fi access and also a care professional who speaks English or Spanish based on the family's needs to keep in contact with them for their progress. So that's exciting and something we're partnering with the DOE and a nonprofit group called Waterford to provide that to incoming kindergartners.
So I know that's on a first come, first served basis. Have we started, you know, 'cause it's out there now, so have we started receiving applicants for that
At
already?
this point in time, I'm not sure if we've started to populate those, but I know that they're gonna be in contact with Mrs. Williams probably this week. And we'll continue to keep an update of how many students we have enrolled. And I will make sure each week to provide that to the board, how many students we have. We've got a hefty goal. The largest number in Indiana currently is 33 students. They have 140 slots open currently, and we're gonna do our best to fill every one of them.
That's great.
So whatever we have to do, however we can get out there and get this information out to families, we're gonna do it. Marching band, they just started off their season with a 5th place finish at Brownsburg High School for the Marching Invitational. I passed them as they were headed that way on Saturday morning. Spread the love, as you know, a lot
They
of our.
took 4th place, by the way, in Mishawaka last week.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
4th place,
So
okay.
they were fantastic.
Okay. Spread the love, we always coordinate with the Food Bank of Northwest Indiana and Central. They wanted to share that they collected 606 jars of peanut butter for that initiative to feed families. Fire Prevention Week, I know you've seen that across the city taking place, and of course in South Haven as well. Firefighters were coming in, having lunches, and also sharing the plans with students. I know my own 3rd grader came home and asked, when was the last time we checked our batteries, and when are we having a fire drill, and where are we meeting? So again, it's all those great opportunities to have those important conversations with our kids. The mobile market, it was October 18th. I'm sorry, the next one is October 18th from 5 to 7. Once we get into January, we're gonna increase the number of opportunities in a month. I'm really excited to share that Walmart just showed up with a bunch of volunteers and said, hey, we're here to volunteer. They were wearing their Walmart vests and just started
It's awesome.
getting behind things and willing to help. So it was a great opportunity and a great way to connect with another organization who just wanted to give back to the community. And then High Reliability Schools, as you know, this is launched. The Parent Information Night was last night. We did have many families that came out to hear about the IPN statements and how they can support that. And then we had some parents today who also contacted us wanting to know if we could also video that because they had heard that it was a really good opportunity to learn about the IPN statements and how they support that. So can we get it out on our website? So we're absolutely gonna make that happen, so.
So we are archiving professional development and this type of things so that if people are not available, they can look at it at their.
Yes, absolutely.
Great report, and you know, and again, I know we mentioned it, that at the last meeting, the newsletters are fantastic. There's so many great things going on that, you know, we just probably never been really good at letting people know.
Yeah.
And
And that's
it's
when,
exciting to
you know,
have that
that's
out
been
there.
exactly what the board has said, you know, that there's all these great things going on, and there's gotta be a way to get those things out, and I'm excited because next week, the student interns, will be giving me the second staff newsletter, so because we wanna have a couple target audiences, but the staff also enjoys seeing the ones that are going out.
Sure.
Just knowing that there are kids that are producing all of those, and Mrs. DeGrzlowski can tell you those kids wrote every one of those articles, and they're so professionally done, they're very precise. They are doing the interviewing, they are just amazing, and the amount of press releases that are going out, and you know, seeing all of that in Portage Life, and then the press release again about this Upstart program, that's thanks to the kids, just giving them the opportunity, and they are our best chance of getting good news out about Portage.
And we're gonna start having them show up at our
Yes,
meetings
yes.
and relay some of that information.
They've got some
to us
designs
personally.
going
That's
on
great.
that they wanna share with you, one of them being a portrait of a graduate. And that will start to incorporate not only those work skills for college and careers, but also what core values and critical values, looking at that from a framework of an entire whole child. And then also they are redesigning our logo, and they want to reveal that. And they're gonna have students vote on that, just get some different input. The one that Mrs. Severs-Lowy and I thought was a great idea, they shot down right away, and then they took over. So it was the greatest, you know, compliment to us that they felt comfortable enough to say,
That's
So,
awesome, great,
very
thank you so much.
professional.
Thank you. Anybody else have any comments?
I'd just like to make a comment, Central or whoever's looking for peanut butter, they definitely need to contact that new peanut butter place that's going into Portage for a donation, because it was just approved by the city council.
Yeah.
And that's some pretty good peanut butter.
Yeah.
And then just a reminder, Andy and I will not be at the October 22nd meeting, so make sure you have a phone.
So don't do anything major without us.
We'll have to do something major.
We'll think of
Game
something.
on.
Mr. Don's going, please tell me there's gonna be a quorum at meeting.
Yeah.
And calling in does not constitute a quorum.
Correct.
Okay, we'll move on to items not on the agenda. Does anybody have anything that wasn't on the agenda to add? Did we get any public comment forms?
Did not.
Did not, okay. Our next meeting's October 1st, 2018. Will be our Buildings and Ground Innovation Committee at 12 o'clock. October 8th is our board discussion meeting here at 5 p.m. October 22nd, as alluded to, is our regular board meeting here at 5 p.m. too. But when did we start going to having our board meetings at some of the schools?
That was what I wanted to start that after we have the whole budget thing approved,
Okay.
since we were advertising, and so we're going to be moving, and we're gonna do board meetings at schools, discussion meetings
Yeah,
here.
discussion meetings
Yeah,
are board
yeah.
meetings, that's
So we will
perfect.
start doing that, after the budget is approved, then we can start moving around.
Good, good. It's always exciting to see what the school and the kids have to offer.
And then can we have a little, like either before or after, like a 15-minute tour of the schools to highlight?
Oh, yeah.
I would like to do that, because you know, you just walk in and you don't see much.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yes.
It may
Okay,
be nicer to do it before the meeting starts.
yeah, whichever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, anybody have anything else? If not, meeting adjourned, thank you.